Start of the tour, it's Ash, Hollywood, Sunset Boulevard. It must be Tim Wheeler and Rick McMurray. How are you?
I'm good, yeah. Just finished sound check here at the Roxy.
There we go, man.
Getting ready for the first night of the tour.
Straight up the stage, cranking it up. 20th anniversary, happy anniversary.
Thank you very much, yeah.
So it's a pleasure to be here and talk to you about it. Now growing up, give me an idea of your upbringing, you know, when you first started hearing music, what it was like, you know, as far as falling in love with music or seeing your first shows.
I guess so. Well, we were kind of big, like, almost pre-teen or early teen metalers, you know, it's a lot of like Iron Maiden and stuff, and Megadeth, Guns N' Roses. Pretty cool, you know, skipping the Roxy for all that metal rock history.
Sure.
But yeah, and I guess we were, then Nirvana was a really big influence, and that came along in 1991, 92, that, you know, that sort of steered us more towards alternative rock and like punk rock, and
yes.
that kind of changed everything for us. So yeah, we grew up in Northern Ireland as well,
Yes,
which is
yes.
a bit of a provincial backwater, you know, it was cut off from a lot of live shows, so not that many bands came there, but
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the big metal bands as well playing the arenas. There wasn't really many like independent.
A lot of clubs, just the
yeah,
big shows.
yeah. But Nirvana
What was the
plays-
first arena show you saw?
We saw Iron Maiden, I
Oh,
think.
wow.
Actually, no, some Bon Jovi, yeah, in like
Is that right?
1980.
I thought you were trying to be cool there.
Yeah, no, I'm just being real, I just forgot.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, it must have blown your mind just seeing the lights,
Yeah.
the you know
Yeah,
the
hearing
big
the sound, yeah.
the big sound.
Yeah, it was a good show.
That's great.
Yeah.
So now, what led us to 1977? Why did you call the album that? What significance does that have?
Yeah, well, our debut album, we called it 1977. That was the year we were born. It was we were big Star Wars fans as well, and you know, punk rock really broke through that year as well. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff at the time we were into that was from 1977.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah.
Significant on a number of levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
When the
funny,
two
it's like-
sevens clash.
I know a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, was that the year you formed the band?" It's going like, "No, it's the year we were born."
Yeah.
It kind of freaks people out.
It is, man. You got the youth, but you know, when you first started getting into punk rock, what was the first band? What really moved you into the more?
I guess so, you know, I liked the Undertones a lot, who are also Northern Irish, so you know, they had that melodic thing that went you know, with the energy. So
the hooky
like-
thing, you know.
Yeah, I guess we kind of worked our way backwards really, because it was like, you know, Nirvana, which was kind of like, and Sonic Youth was kind of seen as
Pixies,
like, you know,
yeah.
the second coming of that sort of punk attitude. So we sort of grew up with that, and then sort of worked our way back to like bands like Undertones, Buzzcocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we used to get compared to the Buzzcocks a lot. So when we'd start, you know, went and listened to it, but it's kind of funny. It was like
It was totally
reverse.
inadvertent kind of things. We'd never even heard them up to the point we started getting the comparisons.
It kind of
That's
became an
crazy.
influence after people said we sounded like them.
Yeah, you checked them out.
Yeah.
So now tell us about the first time, like going to the UK and feeling, you know, the eventual breakthrough, the acceptance, you know, of your band there. What that meant to you.
It was cool, yeah, because I guess we first started going to London when we were 17 years old, and we had this press agency which was the same. They also did like Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, and Beastie Boys, and Hole, and a bunch of really good bands. And so it was kind of like straight away we were going to London, like hanging out in our office, and you know, they were like doing all the music that we loved, and so having them behind us was really good. Yeah, then we started getting played on radio, and you know, we were still at high school, so our label couldn't push us too hard because we couldn't really promote anything. But it was really as soon as we left school that we had our first like hit, and you know, then we first started touring the world. We went to Australia and Japan, like, and America, all like just a few months after leaving high school. So that's when our life just changed forever.
Now, was there a lucky break? Was there a champion, somebody that first played your music, or what was the break?
I guess it was like finding our manager and like Vic through the sort of press agent whose wife was from the same town as us. So he came and checked us out, and then he had a demo and gave it to like a friend who worked in the office beside him. He was putting out he was doing his own like sort of one-off singles thing. He loved the demo, and he decided to put out a single with us, and then when we launched the single, we kind of talked to him to become our manager.
Yeah, we had some good early supporters. There was people like Steve Lamacq at Radio 1, he was an evening kind of show, and then John Peel picked up on stuff. There's some NME and Melody Maker journalists, which was influential then. Yeah, I guess it sort of broke out of radio and press originally.
Okay.
But yeah, and then, you know, having those people behind you, it's just it went back in those days.
Snowball, and momentum started.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about the first time you came to the U.S. What was that like? You obviously knew about the bands and the music that came from New York and L.A.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts growing up, as far as coming to America, or what America meant to you?
It was a dream come true, but it was only like, we didn't, it's just all we knew about it was through music and films, I guess. So it was cool. Like, I think the first time we came here, we didn't even play. It was during like a half-term break in school. We got flown to LA by like 2 record companies, and they were sort of like competing to get us. So we were going around in limos, staying in great hotels, and being taken to awesome dinners. And, it's sort of like
reading their back catalogs as well.
Yeah, sure.
Getting all their
so that was pretty cool. Yeah, because I really didn't have that much of a concept of what LA would be like. And
you said this fantasy of movie stars on the corner and palm trees. And
we did meet Lou Reed as well on that trip, so that was pretty far out.
And also we met Mudhoney at some show. Like they were, we're big fans of them. Yeah, I think it was
Sebado, wasn't it?
What?
Sebado.
Oh yeah, I went to see Sebado play and stuff. Yeah, we were pretty well looked after from the get-go. And then our first tours, that was really interesting when we got to see a broader part of the country. And I still remember like driving into New York for the
it's
first
a big
time.
difference between LA and New York. There's a long space between it.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah, I think just driving around the country and tour, it's like in the UK you drive like for a few hours, you'd be at a show. It's like here you're driving all day to get somewhere. It's just like wow.
Yeah,
driving 10 hours to get to the next city.
Yeah, and that's what we kind of sort of realized.
But it was great. All the music stores.
Was it Sire here in America?
Reprise.
Okay.
Yeah, originally, that was first album.
So the great Warner Brothers offices out here in Burbank.
Yeah, we went to Burbank. That's where we met Lou Reed on the steps.
Oh wow.
Yeah, with Laurie Anderson.
That's
crazy.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So now, when you look back, at the Maiden in 1977, what's your greatest memories of it? Because obviously the music stood up really well. You're here celebrating the 20th anniversary. Does it seem like the 20 years flew by, or does it seem like a different lifetime ago?
It doesn't seem like 20 years at all.
It's just kind of weird because it's obviously like a lot of the songs from that album have just sort of grown with us over the last 20 years, so that I guess they still feel current to us. But yeah, I mean the recording of the album was like we sort of started off doing a bunch of singles, and we were working with Owen Morris, and that was just like a real kind of rock and roll experience, just living with this like recording, working with this like drug crazed, just mad scientist producer guy. So that was like proper introduction to rock and roll, just getting up to crazy shit in the studio to get the vibe going. And then that was we first worked with him like sort of the end of '94, just after Christmas, when the Verve were taking a break from recording in Northern Soul. We got into the studio for a few days and did Kung Fu and Angel Interceptor, and then during school holidays and Easter we recorded Girl from Mars, and then we were sort of touring the world, and then we come back to do the album, and in the winter we sort of 6 weeks, and sort of we a handful of songs. We've been touring so much, it was kind of just it was just this weird. It's just the weirdest experience of making an album. But I guess we were so young, we just thought that's just how it goes.
So you always had the songs written before you went to the studio, or was there anything written in the studio?
Oh yeah,
there was a lot written in the studio. Probably
half a record got written in the studio.
So
but before because we used up all our good old songs apart from Girl from Mars on Trailer, our first mini album. So we kind of cleared the decks already. People always say that was a problem with bands. You sort of use all your good songs on your first album, and then you're writing the second one's a nightmare. But actually, really writing our first full album was the nightmare.
Yeah, that's amazing stuff. So now, obviously,
you want to join our interview, Lance?
I just wonder if I can sit quietly.
Sure.
All right.
Well, you weren't very quiet.
You started off well.
Yeah, come in.
Take a seat.
So now, obviously, the band has evolved since then. Number of albums, a lot of tours. Been touring the world. Tell us what you're most proud of as far as evolving or staying, together as a band.
Well, I guess just the fact we're still going 24 years after we formed is really amazing. I can't take it for granted, but it's. I think that's quite an achievement.
You don't really think about it much unless you're asked about it. But then you go you think about all our sort of contemporaries, and if they're still going, they've already split up at least once. We've just carried on through the whole time. We've never taken a break from what we do because we love it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I know at one point you were 4-piece and you're back to 3.
Yeah.
What's most important about the 3-piece? Why would you not replace?
Yeah, well, we had Charlotte with us for like 9 years, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just the fact she was such a character, you know, that she's a hard person to replace in some ways, but also we were originally a 3-piece for the first 5 years of the band, and we had like, you know, some of our biggest successes as a 3-piece, so you know, there's something exciting about it as a live thing as well. You know, there's a bit more space to the sound, and it's a bit more work for me as a guitarist to try to cover sometimes parts of 2 guitars, but
You love it.
yeah, I enjoy the challenge.
Yeah, yeah. Now, so your first time you came to LA, first time in LA was basically you weren't playing. You were here to visit the record labels and everything.
But yeah, then we came back. Like we played at Roxy almost 20 years ago. Like exactly, it's like a day or two. You know,
It's a day or two either side of it.
Is that right?
Yeah. So it's kind of it's crazy.
It's coming full circle.
Yeah, it's
Now,
kind of
I know
like I'm playing the same guitar like I was using that. It's
We
amazing.
love that.
Yes.
Now, I know you guys have toured a bit with Weezer.
Yeah.
You guys get along as a band. And
We're
what is it? You know, what do you look back as far as that opportunity? Did that really open some doors, some markets for you?
Yeah, like we toured with them on their Pinkerton album, which was a slightly less successful album for them, but it's like one of our fans' real favorites. And yeah, it was really amazing to, you know, to tell people that we were on that tour, and people go, that's legendary, really.
Yeah.
And
I saw that like, there was a story I saw on Facebook yesterday. Apparently, Pinkerton's finally gone platinum.
oh yeah, yeah, that's very cool. Eventually, yeah,
Yeah.
it's got the recognition finally.
It's taken 20 years.
Yeah.
Sure. It's
So yeah, they're great band, you know. And then we've
I guess
just over the years we've done a lot of festivals with them, and then we've done some shows with them a few years ago, and we did the Weezer cruise, and yeah, we're just sort of we got a similar wavelength, like we like melodic.
Don't necessarily sound like them, but I think there's a lot of definitely a lot of references that are like common. You know, we were both very melodic bands. I guess we both got like that sort of like heavy metal background as well. I know they're like big metal, were big metal fans like before they started the band as well.
The odd like heavy metal guitar solo will sneak in here or there. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, this is a celebration of the 20-year-old album.
Yeah.
Tell us what's new, what's next.
Yeah, well, we're working on a new album, which I think will be out next year, and we had another new one came out last year called Kablamo. So, yeah, you know, we're still.
You did that one through the fans, the fan raise.
Yeah, so we did a pledge campaign, similar to like Kickstarter kind of thing.
Yeah. Now, how was that for you, as far as being able to kind of feel the support of the fans, or do it without a label?
Yeah, it was nice. It was because it meant we could sort of make the record entirely on our own terms and then go find a label, so it was really nice to have that support. And you know, it's also nice when you're making a record just to know there's already an audience like waiting to hear it, so it sort of it was a nice bit of positive pressure to get the record finished.
It was great feeling that trust in the fans that they're willing to pay up front as well. You know.
It's like
pretty good, because you know it's like it makes you think you really got to deliver the goods. People are investing in this.
It's like paying for that car that's being customized, and you gotta wait for it to be delivered.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, the anticipation. Well, I know you guys did the single series, you know, A to Z and all that. How did that concept work out for you, as far as, you know, the thought of being, you know, like a new concept?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was 2009, 2010. We did like 26 singles over the course of a year. And in some ways it was like a little bit ahead of its time. You know, it would have been really cool if like Twitter had been a bigger thing, although it was still going. But you know, Spotify or something like that. You know, it would have been really good for subscription services. But we did it as our own subscription service, and you know, that was another thing that was similar to Pledge, where fans were like investing up front, and you know, it's cool giving them a track every 2 weeks.
Yeah, like people were a little bit skeptical to start off. They're just going like, "Well, no more albums," or they kind of bummed out about it. But like once they kind of got into the flow of the whole thing, it was just like, oh, it's just amazing, just having that every second Monday. You know, you get a new track. It was just the first thing, I wake up in the morning and get in the inbox and download it. So it felt like, you know, for a whole year we were like really close to our fans, and just always kind of in their consciousness.
It's kind of nice,
but it's like, you know, I think people are starting to finally catch on. Like, you know, 5 years later, it's like I did an interview last week about Calvin Harris, who's decided he's not doing any more albums. It's like, fuck him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you record those in
Catch up,
batches, or did you record those as you went, or?
We had some up front just to get the start ready, you know,
Yeah.
because we were pressing vinyl and everything, so it needed,
Okay.
there's like a 2-month lead time to get vinyl pressed.
Sure.
So yeah, but then we did a lot as the campaign was going.
Yeah.
Most of it we were sort of finishing as it was happening, and we were going out touring in between it, so it was really fun. It was a very different process to making an album. You didn't, you know, we just wanted a change from the album tour album cycle.
Mhm,
I think
mhm.
we're kind
Shake
of
it
looking
up.
at the process of recording 1977 almost as a kind of like inspiration for it, because we started with the singles. So it would be like go into the studio, like record one, release it, and then like doing a little bit of tour, and then back into the studio again. It just felt like this like really, such a kind of fun time. It felt really sort of current as opposed to, you do an album that's like you could be recording and releasing songs like 3 years after they're written. So like this
Mhm.
way, I just felt like everything was really relevant. But
Kind of straight off the frying pan
Yeah,
yeah,
to the plate.
yeah.
yeah, it definitely gives it a real edge and a real excitement.
And
Yeah.
also the things don't have to fit together the way an album does. You got real freedom to be. We got to play with a lot of different styles, and
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have to worry about it being a cohesive thing.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it was really good for us at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Creatively we just took us in a different place.
Yeah. Well, I know things like that keep it fresh for you, but the industry that you got into
Yeah.
20 years ago, almost unrecognizable.
Oh,
And
yeah.
miss our Tower Records here when you drive by it,
it's
and
gone, yeah.
and so many changes with the labels and the delivery system. What are you most excited about as far as being independent, having some of these techs or tools or angles in which to do it yourself? What is the upside of today?
Yeah, I think the direct connection with fans. There used to be, like, the press used to be could sort of destroy bands in a weird way. And it's so annoying. Like, you'd have interviews where you'd get like misrepresented, or
Mhm.
the journalists would often make up quotes. Just and nowadays you'd have Twitter. You could just write, "I never said that," or you can talk
Paper
directly
trail.
to your fans. Yeah, which is quite cool.
Mhm.
And I guess that's a really nice thing.
Yeah. But
And
the
it's completely worldwide as well.
Yeah.
You can reach people anywhere, and recording is kind of
Yeah, it's like one market now.
Yeah.
Everywhere is
yeah.
kind of equal, and you can
Yeah.
reach places that you may have never toured
Yeah.
or gotten
Yeah.
to. The internet. That's great. So the independent is, the indie spirit is alive. And
Yeah.
That's what's going to
Yeah.
carry us into the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, beautiful. Well, it's great to see you guys coming full circle, all the way back to the Roxy, all the way back to 1977.
Yeah.
We're excited about the tour and kicking off here in LA. In closing, what advice do you give to young creative people coming up today, whether they want to be a musician or a video maker or whatever, all that you've seen, what advice do you give them?
I think resilience is very, very important. You got to just persevere really all the time. Just believe in yourself, persevere,
Yeah.
and be. Things are changing so frequently now. You just have to. I guess you can't have too fixed ideas about how you do things.
Yeah, roll with the punches. It's like things change so rapidly at the minute. I mean, I think probably the only thing that will never change about the music industry is people love a great song.
Yeah.
Something that's going to stick in your head, and it's like that's kind of the only thing you can do if you
Yeah.
do that. It's like
I think, and trying to be different. It's like, David Bowie dying just reminds you, like, there was so many characters that, being successful in was kind of a lot to do with how interesting your character was, and things have got a bit bland, like, recently, so
Yeah.
I don't know, I think we need more craziness, and yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had so many icons, and people were so different, unique,
Yeah.
and
You didn't have to
so much
compromise.
of today likes to get
Yeah.
people to conform and kind of
Yeah.
be kind of stand off the edges.
Yeah.
And we need to be more unique.
Yeah, like labels want people to co-write a lot, and I think it's important to develop your own
Yeah.
voice. And no one had to do that back in the day. All these great
Right.
songs were written just by the band themselves. So I think stick to your guns. I would like to see more of that.
yeah, definitely individuality is the one thing that'll make you stand out. It's
Sure.
like those rough edges are what make bands interesting. So try not to lose them.
Rather than blend in, stand out.
Yeah,
Go
that's
against.
what we need. Yeah.
Go against the crowd.
Yeah.